6 o'clock yet. Nobody panic. Everyone, keep your cell phones off, please, during the live show. This is a good time to turn them off right now. Get your last selfie. Everyone, get cozy with your neighbor. If you see some empty spots, go get cozy with your neighbor. If you win tonight, you will have 30 seconds to walk up this aisle, not anywhere over here, this aisle. 30 seconds. Who's counting? Not me. Actually, they are counting. It's 30 seconds you have to get down here. So please, come on up. Your group is allowed to take the stage, but only one person from your group can give the acceptance speech in order to help the show run on time. If you win, you'll be escorted to the winner's room. But if you're nominated, this is where it gets complicated. In multiple categories, don't go to the winner's room until after your last category is called. Does that make sense? There will be a multiple choice questionnaire at the end. Have a fantastic evening. You all look like winners to me. I'll see you later.
kind of been a toss-up between queer news or two beds, one cave. Podcasts.
Everyone's got one, everybody and their brother.
Podcasts.
Issued them out, birth another than another.
Podcasts. Send them straight into my ears.
Mark Maron's show alone could play for 30 years.
We're representing Vegas. Third year, not too shabby.
And if you want to kick it up a notch, press play on Call Her Daddy. Podcast.
Everyone's got one, every mother, son, and daughter.
Podcast.
Download them from my brain, I really think they oughta.
Podcast. Not to be too indiscreet.
I'm office ladies in the streets, freakonomics in the sheets.
Mel Robbins, A. Cooper, business was a super duper. Only funny cause it's true. Heard the one with JB Smooth. Leslie Jones being funny. Check the cassette. Moriarty, Conan looking for some friends. Chad Santa making trends.
Welcome to the show. The Ambies are awards for the finest audio. We elevate the best from the depths of all the rest. We listen to them all, MP3s are uncompressed. Welcome to the Ambies. These are the nominees.
Everyone's got a podcast.
Everybody's got one, even my brother, and me. Seriously, it's called My Brother, and Me.
And you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. It helps our show grow and find an audience.
Welcome to the third annual Ambies, the awards for excellence in audio. Here's your host, Emmy Award-winning writer, comedian, producer, and host of his own podcast, Black on the Air, Larry Wilmore.
I can't do no more. I can't do no more. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Ambies. Oh, man, look at this crowd. This is something, hosting the third annual Ambie Awards here at the International Theater at Westgate in Las Vegas. Give yourself a round of applause, you guys. Being here, look at this crowd, so much excitement. Ambies, right? Ambies, man. Yeah, we the Ambies, right? Yeah. Come on, you got to get that Ambies attitude, you guys. Yeah. Yeah, we coming at you, Oscars. Emmys, yeah. We see you, Grammys, Golden Globes, Image Awards, Spirit, Indie, SAG, Best Ensemble Cast, whatever, watch out. Ambies are on your ass. I have no idea what that means. Oh my God, but it's only been 3 years, but the Ambies are really coming up in the world, right? Yes, I know, it's exciting. And people get so snotty about awards. I love like, have you heard that term EGOT, right? I'm an EGOT. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Oh, really, you got an Ambie? Come back and talk to me when you're an EGOTA. EGOTA. And look at this, it's packed tonight. I'm so happy you guys are all here. We also have people watching from home on the Amazon Music channel where we're live on Twitch. Give it up for Twitch, you guys. Yeah, that's exciting. Twitch. Yeah. Twitch, of course, is the Ambies making damn sure no one over 16 is watching this. So, well done, Ambies. I see what you're doing. You're grooming your audience. I see what you're doing there, Ambies. But it is an exciting time, you guys. Podcasts have really become a part of our world, right? It's where people now go for trusted information, relatable relationship advice, eavesdropping on your favorite celebrities, right? Even useful life hacks like What's the best way to remove somebody's kidney in a bathtub in Vegas, right? Ice, right? Plenty of, some people I think have Googled that in here, I'm not sure. But it is very exciting. You know what it is? It's like the birth of a new kind of communication, you know? And there's something about podcasts that makes it different from every other form. You know what it is? It kind of hooks a listener in, right? Like, guys, I would never pay attention to a lecture on Sumerian pottery, right? But if I'm hearing like a gravelly, kind of grizzled female voice talking about it, right? With some kind of sinister music behind her, right? I'm good for 80 episodes, you guys. I'm subscribing. It's so intimate. I'm like, gravelly lady, tell me about that old ass vase again. This is exciting. It draws you in, right? There's kind of an intimacy. It's kind of a relationship medium, I think, you know. And we have a lot of great podcasts nominated, and there's so many interesting categories too. Some of them really drew my attention. Like in the category of wellness, one of the nominees is Navigating Narcissism. How about a round of applause for that, right? I love that title. Navigating Narcissism. It was good, but honestly, I was looking for something more for me. Thank you for getting that. I love this crowd, man. That's good. Also, I love this one, guys. In true crime, there's the paddlefish caviar heist. Give it up for them. Paddlefish. This is absolutely true. Paddlefish caviar heist. It's all about an international caviar smuggling ring. Wow. I had no idea that that was going on all these years. I was buying my paddlefish caviar from that guy in the van. No idea. Yo, man, you need some. Yo, man, I got some primo paddlefish in the bag. Paddlefish caviar? I had no idea this was going on. There's so much. You know what it is? Podcasts really, they really educate us about things. They even have a lot for kids now, too. There's one called, I'm not making up this name, too, Pinkalicious and Peterific. How about a round of applause for them, right? I want to stress, this is a kids podcast called Pinkalicious and Peterific. Haven't heard it, but are we sure this is for kids? I'm sure it's a perfectly fine show, but there's something about that name. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's the way I'm hearing it. But I'd like to be at that meeting where they're rejecting other names, right? It's like, okay, guys, so we're not going to go with Little Miss Moist and Donkey Dicky, right? I just want to make sure. We're not going to go with that. Kind of judging the level of the room here. All the teenagers at Twitch are like, more of that, please, Larry, please, more of that. But like many podcasts, tonight would not be possible without the generous but well-earned support of our sponsors. Give it up for our sponsors, you guys, come on. That's how we make the money, you guys, how we make the money. Honestly, sponsors, though, we are incredibly grateful to you. There are over 100 million podcasts in the US alone, you guys, and the Ambies highlight the rich dimensions of diversity in each category. We are committed to telling all types of stories, right? Highlighting cultures, learning from each other, and tonight we'll be shining a light on the ones that made us think, made us feel, and maybe even changed our minds. So let's get the show started. What do you think, right? Great, okay. All right. And for everyone watching on Twitch, invite your parents down into the basement so they can join in on the fun. I'm gonna have fun with this Twitch crowd all night, I think, okay. All right, so please welcome to the stage Jasmine Aguilera. She's the head of audio at LA Times, and joining her to present these next awards is Chad Sanders. You know him as the host of a show nominated 3 times this evening, Direct Deposit.
Nominated not 1, but 3 times this evening. A hat trick. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But you know, as much as I'm excited to be here to celebrate everyone who has left their mark on our industry, I'm particularly honored to acknowledge and celebrate the amazing folks that aren't in front of the mic, the people behind the scenes, all the amazing engineers, producers, and reporters that make podcasts happen. Without you, we would be nothing.
So true. And even before any of those pros can do what they do, a writer has to imagine the world and put pen to paper. Creating a script based on facts, timelines, and true stories is real magic. The writer has to immerse themselves in someone else's life.
It's like being paid to be a catfish. Here are the nominees for Best Scriptwriting, Nonfiction. And the winner is Eric Galindo and Alejandro Mendoza for Ídolo, The Ballad of Chalino Sanchez.
No mames. Yes, that's wild. I mean, Chalino's story is a story that I've been wanting to tell since I was a kid. I'm so honored to get to tell it. Thank you to my parents for creating me and helping me and supporting me, to my partner, Megan, to my team. Marlon is a genius. If you haven't worked with Marlon Bishop, Alejandro Mendoza, that's it. I think my time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chalino. Viva Chalino!
Congratulations. In the podcast world, this category is a genre that steals the show. Some would say it's criminal. Here are the nominees for Best True Crime.
For Best True Crime Podcast, here are the nominees. Conviction, The Disappearance of Noseba Hassan. Dateline, Missing in America. Death of an Artist. Queen of the Con. The Paddlefish Caviar Heist. Up and Vanished, The Trial of Ryan Duke. Wrongful Conviction.
And the winner is
Up and Vanished, The Trial of Ryan Duke.
Kind of heavy. This is amazing. So years ago, my first podcast was Up and Vanished. I investigated a missing persons case in South Georgia, and it was the craziest time of my life. And it's my first podcast ever. It's why I'm here. It's why I even make podcasts to begin with. These two are amazing, Eric and Nina. There was a trial that happened 5 years later, and it was all because of their coverage that we're here today, and I really appreciate all you guys listening, and cheers.
Congratulations. Whether you're a pop culture junkie, a history buff, or just love a good old-fashioned debate about the biggest issues of our time, there's a Society and Culture podcast out there for you. And tonight, we're honoring the cream of the crop, the podcasts that have made us laugh, cry, and think in new and exciting ways.
With their thought-provoking perspectives, these podcasts challenge our preconceptions, broaden our horizons, and help us better understand the diverse perspectives that shape our society.
For Best Society and Culture Podcast, here are the nominees. Fiasco, the AIDS crisis. Idolo, the Ballad of Chalino Sanchez. In Those Jeans podcast. Into America with Tremaine Lee. Love Right Now. The Sum of Us. Truth Be Told with Tanya Mosley.
And the winner is Idolo, the Ballad of Chalino Sanchez.
Me again. Hi. Good, because I forgot to thank Josh and Carmen, Jasmine, Juan Diego, Lily. She hates when I call her that. We had an incredible team. It was such an honor to get to tell this story. Not a lot of people in my community who suffer the same fate that Chalino Sanchez did ever get any justice, and so it was an honor for us to try and give them some and explain a little bit about the circumstances that puts people in those positions. So thank you, everyone.
And now, please welcome to the stage the creator and host of Latinos Out Loud, Rachel Strauss Muniz, and the executive producer and host of Talkin' Politics and Religion Without Killing Each Other, Corey Nathan.
Yo, 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 East Coast in the building. What's good? New York City, where you at?
I am way out blinged right now. Major Mike bling right there. That is awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I am so thrilled to be here because I have a deep passion for podcasting.
Yeah. Me too. But I'm also thrilled to be here because I love getting outside of my studio, which is inside of my studio apartment in New York City.
Yes, there is that. Okay, this next category is one that is, of course, near and dear to my heart. The best politics or opinion podcast. You know I love talking politics.
Yeah, and you really do have a lot of opinions about it. I vote we take a look at the nominees.
For Best Comedy Podcast, here are the nominees.
Piece is heavy. I'm gonna have to talk to Jacob about that. All right, and the winner is Strict Scrutiny.
Not to be there in person, thank you so much. We started Strict Scrutiny, a podcast about the Supreme Court, because we thought we all needed to be paying much more attention to an institution that is shrouded in secrecy, but whose decisions have enormous impact on all of our lives. That was true before Dobbs, in which the Supreme Court ended constitutional protections for abortion. That mission seems all the more urgent now. It is especially meaningful to accept this award on the day before International Women's Day. On behalf of my co-hosts, Melissa Murray and Leah Lippman, and our wonderful producer, Melody Rowell, and with thanks to Crooked Media, let's keep focused on the Supreme Court. I assure you that we are going to.
You know, Corey, laughing out loud with my friends is one of my favorite things to do. Next to laughing alone with no one around for miles, because I love doing that as well. Whether you're YOLO or solo, laughter really is the best medicine. Let's take a look at the Best Comedy Podcast nominees.
For Best Comedy Podcast, here are the nominees. Funny 'Cause It's True, with Elise Myers. I Love a Lifetime Movie. Scam Goddess, with Lacey Mosley. Summer in Argyle. The Fuckery, with Leslie Jones and Lenny Marcus. Wait, Don't tell me. Why don't you date me with Nicole Byer?
And the winner is Why Won't You Date Me with Nicole Byer?
And
we'll watch her
thank you
accept
so
on
much,
Zoom.
Podcast Academy. Nicole Byer could not make it tonight, so as her producer, she has asked me to say this for her. As a proud, strong black woman, I am so excited to win this award. Thank you.
Can we celebrate not relying on TikTok and the Instagram to get our news? Or is that just for gray-haired folks like me? I'm a big fan of taking a deeper dive into what's happening in the world and definitely a fan of excellent journalism. Here are the nominees for Best News Podcast.
I really like saying these words. Okay. And the winner is. Feels really good. Little suspense. Okay, the winner is What Next?
And it's virtual.
Okay, I was not expecting this, as you can tell by the fact that I was muted. I'm sitting here in a cable knit sweater and have my daughter next to me. So I'd just like to thank everyone for this award. We are a daily news show where I can say the number of my producers with one inhalation. We are small but mighty. And we've been doing it for 5 years, and thanks for listening. The best is yet to come.
Sorry, I was eating a little of that paddlefish caviar backstage. Sorry. Whew. Let me tell you. So, when a brother's late, you just gotta make up the excuses real quick, you know. So anyway, times have changed when it comes to child rearing, you guys. You know, here's how it used to be. It used to be, if you wanted to be a bad parent, you'd put your kids in front of a half-hour VHS tape and just ignore them, right? Right? Everybody remembers that. Now, we can give them headphones and make them listen to a 2-hour podcast while we ignore them. Progress. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the parents clapping right now, just so you know. But on the positive note, here are the Best Kids Podcast nominees. I like that music. Nice. Okay. Whew, this is exciting. And the winner is Ty Ask Why. All right. There we go.
30 seconds. I think I did it. I am so grateful and proud to be here to accept this award on behalf of Ty and my many colleagues at CBC who helped bring this series to life over the course of the past 5 seasons. Ty was just 11 when he started hosting this with us. He applied this amazing energy and this unrelenting curiosity to every single episode, whether he was asking, why do we get songs stuck in our head, or what happens after we die? And like all good nominees here tonight, his episodes inspired not just listening, but amazing conversation. They were used in classrooms across Canada as part of curriculum. They were used by parents everywhere around the world as launching pads to get into really difficult, challenging conversations with families and their kids. And the series was created and produced by Veronica Simmons. The directors of CBC Podcasts are Leslie Merklinger and Arif Noorani. And Ty's producers include Amanda Bukowitz, Judy Zigu, Yasmin Maturian, Rachel Levy McLaughlin, Tina Verma, and Eunice Kim. Thanks to all of them, but most of all, thank you, Ty. We're so excited to see where your curiosity takes you in life. Thank you, everybody.
Should I go there? I'm like, oh. I just send them somewhere they're not supposed to go. So reporters, guys. Reporters are an essential lifeline of information, right? Long hours and good reporting can breathe life into an untold story. Like Malcolm Gladwell, one of my favorites. I learn so much from his podcast, like the fact that he's from Toronto. There are black people in Canada? I had no idea. This is new information for me. Thank you, Malcolm. I appreciate that. But here are the nominees for Best Reporting. Woohoo! Exciting. All right, Best Reporting. And the winner is Gilbert King and Kelsey Decker for Bone Valley. Yeah.
Kelsey and I are big believers in the power of storytelling to affect change. We want to thank Leo Schofield for trusting us with the story of his wrongful conviction. And we could not be here if it wasn't for Jason Flom and this great team at Lava for Good for supporting this storytelling effort. So thank you all. Thank you, podcast.
Look at these Ambies winners. That's how you give speeches, right, guys? These long Oscar speeches. So to introduce the next honor, please welcome the Senior Director of Creative Development at Audible and a Governor of the Podcast Academy, Martha Little.
Each year, the leaders of the Podcast Academy bestow the Governor's Award on a show or a person that has had a major impact and influence on the medium. This year, we present the award to Stuff You Should Know, a series that's been on the air since 2008 when podcasting was just in its infancy. The unique blend of deep dive reporting and making it feel like you're just hanging out with two great friends is the secret sauce to their long-time success. They have entertained and educated us educated us on how to use commas, perform exorcisms, and do recycling work. And that's just in 1 week. Recently hitting the 3 billion, that's with a B, downloads, Josh Clark, Charles Wayne, Chuck Bryant, and their producer, Jerry Rowland, are great examples of podcasting pioneers.
Walking out and seeing how many seats there were in that place and knowing that we'd sold San Francisco out the Palace of the Fine Arts Theater, it's pretty cool that people are that into what we're saying, you know? When the line of people to see you turns, like, that's a pretty good sign. I would say that I'm most satisfied by our work in just getting to research stuff, like professionally.
I often talk about the fact that I was thinking about becoming a teacher. So I think it's satisfying for me to have ended up sort of being a weird sort of teacher, like a 21st century teacher, which is podcaster.
Exactly.
That's what we all are.
Getting to read stuff and look around and ask questions, then answer questions, to go from not knowing anything about it to pretty well having a handle on how it works.
Yeah.
That's very satisfying to me.
It is the Podcast Academy's honor to present this year's Governor's Award to Stuff You Should Know.
Just to wait 4 seconds.
Big thanks to my wife Emily, my daughter Ruby, our booking agent Josh Lindgren, who is somewhere in here, who helped us from the very beginning booking these fun live shows. My brother and partner, and my sister and partner, Jerry here. Connell Byrne, who most of you know is the guy who runs iHeartMedia's podcast program. We know him as the guy who tapped Josh on the shoulder 15-ish years ago, and I think he used the words low-hanging fruit to get the podcast going. And big thanks to the Ambies. We're kind of nose to the grindstone guys when it comes to the show, and we don't pause to reflect on our career much. So this award has been a chance to do that, and it's pretty fun to see how far the medium has come along with ourselves.
I have a few people I'd like to thank too. First and foremost, my wife Yumi and our kid Momo, who've been there for me every step of the way and have been super supportive and have licked my face sometimes. Yumi actually gave me the first piece of advice I received after Stuff You Should Know hit #1 on Apple back in 2008. She said, "Congratulations. Now just don't F it up." And I've been trying to follow that advice every day since then. It's been going pretty well. I want to thank all of the listeners as well, all the fans, all the super fans who've sustained us all these years. Yeah, and the writers too. I was getting to them. A lot of fans have written in and said that they feel like we're their best friends they've never met, and I want them to know that we feel the same way about them too. All the people we've ever worked with, including our writers, and then last but not least, you two. Thank you both, Jerry, Chuck, and congratulations too. Thank you, everybody.
That's great. So the pandemic was tough for a lot of us. I personally lost my brother during that time, and I know many others experienced similar things. Issues like mental health and family became more important than ever, not just for me, but for many of us around the world. And in that spirit, we'd like to award podcasters who deal with health and relationships. So here are the nominees for Best Wellness or Relationship Podcast. Keep forgetting I have to come back real quick. All right. And the nominee, I can't believe they trust me with opening these things. It's over. Come As You Are. The winner.
What an honor to take this stage after Josh, Chuck, and Jerry. I started listening to their podcast when I was 14 years old in my bedroom in North Carolina, and now I'm a podcast producer because of y'all in a big way. And this show was a major collaboration. It was an all-female production team. I want to thank everyone who worked on it, our host, Emily Nagoski, our editor, Kate Parkinson Morgan, my co-producer, Brittany Brown, our engineer, Ann Pope, and all the executives at Pushkin Industries and Madison Wells that allowed us to take risks and believe in us. And thank you to the Ambies.
Okay, moving right along. Our next award is for Best Personal Growth Spirituality Podcast. I timed that one a little better. For those of you playing at home on Twitch. And the winner is A Slight Change of Plans. The winner, yes. Okay, so they could not be here, and so we were looking at the message on the video screen.
Hey, this is Tyler. Can you hear me? Hey, hi everybody. Tyler Green, showrunner on A Slight Change of Plans. It is a huge honor to accept this award, especially in the company of such badass nominees. First, thanks to the Academy for lifting up our show. Special thanks to everyone at Pushkin Industries who makes this show possible. We are incredibly grateful to be a part of this amazing crew. And to our team, the Slight Change team, Kate Parkinson Morgan, 2 times your name has been said tonight, Andrew Vastola, Sarah McCrae, and of course our incredible host, Maya Shankar. Maya and I wake up every single morning grateful to call you all colleagues and friends. And most of all, I want to thank you, our listeners. You are why we do this, why we wake up every morning and spend all this time putting this work together. Thank you so much for going on this journey with us. And have fun in Vegas, everybody. I wish I was there. Bye-bye.
Very fun. How's everybody doing? You guys doing good? It's fun, huh? Happy you came? All the way to Vegas for this? Yeah. Very good. Okay. And now please welcome to the stage Sergio Gonzalez, Head of Growth, and Alexandra Gonzalez, Manager Content Partnerships from our Platinum sponsor, Sonoro. They have some news to share about a very exciting new initiative that will help TPA expand internationally. So give them a listen.
It's no secret, podcasts are bigger than ever. And with 2 out of every 3 podcast listeners now living outside the US, it's clear that our industry has truly gone global.
That's why Sonoro and the Podcast Academy are committed to amplifying stories from around the world and harnessing the power of the global listener.
On June 15th and 16th, Sonoro and the Podcast Academy will host the first ever Global Podcast Summit in Mexico City, with the aim to cultivate the next generation of international podcast trailblazers.
Over the course of this 2-day summit, creators will have the opportunity to learn from some of the industry's most innovative leaders, fortify relationships with key global players, and celebrate diverse voices and stories that make podcasting such a dynamic medium.
To register, go to www.globalpodcastsummit.org.
Nos vemos en México.
And now, please welcome the host and executive producer of Funny 'Cause It's True, Elise Myers, and the CEO of Glassbox Media, David Segura.
Good evening, everyone. First, let me say what an absolute pleasure it is to be here, standing here alongside such a talented group of individuals in our industry. I'm truly honored to share the stage with all of you.
I couldn't agree more, David. It's an incredible feeling to be here celebrating with so many people who have made significant contributions to audio entertainment.
And on the note of significant contributions to audio, next up, we are thrilled to honor the nominees for Best Original Score and Music Supervision, whose exceptional work has truly elevated each story they've been a part of.
Should have worn different shoes for this. All right. And the winner is Disgraceland by Jake Brennan, Matt Moden, Ryan Spraker, and Bryce Kanzer.
Thank you, everyone who voted. It's my son's birthday, and I'm not there, so whoo! Thanks to my wife at home, my 2 boys, Harlan and Willem. Disgraceland is a music podcast. When I started it, all my friends in the music industry said that I couldn't make it without the music from the artists. But I grew up in punk rock and hardcore. We turned our limitations into strengths. We made our own music. Everyone at Double Elvis. And now we just won an award for Best Original Music and Score. So thank you very, very much.
Next up, we take a look at documentaries. These podcasts are a roller coaster of emotions, taking listeners on a wild ride of compelling storytelling and heart-wrenching realness.
And tonight, we gather to applaud the outstanding achievements in documentary podcasts. These nominees have raised the bar for journalistic standards, and have left a lasting impact that lingers well beyond the moment.
And the winner is Bone Valley.
All of a sudden, Gilbert and Kelsey are feeling shy, the shy podcasters. So I'm Jason Flom. I'm very, very proud of this podcast. I've spent the last 30 years of my life trying to free people from prison that don't belong there. We have, in America, more people incarcerated than any country in the history of the world, and it has to change. Over 100,000, by conservative estimates, of those people are innocent of the crimes that they're serving time for. And for most of us, I don't think we can imagine anything worse than being in that situation. Leo Schofield has been in prison in Florida for over 35 years for a crime that Gilbert and Kelsey have proven now conclusively he had absolutely nothing to do with. On our podcast, the real killer confesses in details only he could know, and we're hoping against hope that the state of Florida will finally release this good and decent and honorable and incredibly courageous man, Leo Schofield, and that's all we can really ask for. And so please listen to Bone Valley. If you're not already involved in this movement, get involved, because if you don't think it could happen to you, Bone Valley proves it could happen to you. Thank you.
That's amazing. One of the biggest challenges in this industry is creating content that is both informative and enjoyable. Our nominees for Best Knowledge, Science, or Tech Podcast have all demonstrated that this can be done.
And furthermore, their exceptional ability to seamlessly blend education and entertainment makes it seem almost effortless.
And the winner is TED Radio Hour, and they are not here today, so we are going to be celebrating them virtually.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much to the Podcast Academy for this award. I'm Sanaz Meshkinpour, the showrunner for the show. I was not expecting this. We have been producing TED Radio Hour for more than 10 years now, 3 years, with the brilliant and amazing Manoush Damrodi at the helm as host. It is an incredible honor and privilege to just be able to delve into the world of ideas week after week, everything from how memory works and why you lose your keys, to lobster courtship and sex, to Neanderthals creating cave paintings. And so it's just truly an honor. Thank you so much to NPR, to the folks at TED, to our entire production team at NPR, and a huge, huge, huge thank you to all of our listeners. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Next up, please welcome to the stage the co-founder and CEO of Hacker Valley Media, Chris Cochran, along with the official love expert of The Drew Barrymore Show and host of the Dates and Mates podcast, Damona Hoffman.
Hello, friends. It is an honor to be here tonight to present awards and highlight excellence in audio. You know, Chris, as a relationship coach, I sort of help people write their own script for Finding Love.
I bet a lot of those scripts read like rom-coms.
Well, some of them are a horror film. We've all been there.
Our next nominees know exactly what we're talking about for Best Script Writing in Fiction.
And the winner is Jenny DiCarestivo and Natalie Chiquicha for I Hear Fear.
We didn't expect this, so thank you to Wondery for the opportunity. Thank you to Natalie Chicham, my guru of podcasting, and thank you to my husband Sam for being my cheerleader always.
Yeah, I know we're not supposed to both speak, but I have to thank my own husband too. So thank you, JJ, if you figured out how to use Twitch. Thank you to Marshall, Stephanie, Laura, Donna, Julie, Madison, the team that helped us make this show. You guys were wonderful, and yeah.
Thank you so much.
Man, thank you guys.
Congratulations. You know, one of the reasons that I am so thrilled to be here this evening is because it's really one of the first opportunities I've had to be in the same room as many of my fellow Academy members.
Seriously, the personal and professional contacts that I've made here at the TPA have really changed my entire life. And that's why the TPA means so much to me. Connection really is the energy between two people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. So let's hear from some amazing members about how the TPA has enhanced their lives.
It is an honor to be a member of the Podcast Academy, an organization that recognizes the hard work, perseverance, and storytelling of my fellow podcasters and I. This space is so exciting to be a part of, and I have to say, all of my fellow podcasters fuel me, and being a member of the Podcast Academy exposes me to all this amazing audio gold that's out there for consumption.
The Podcast Academy literally took me and my company from a single podcast to becoming a business, to becoming a little network, to ultimately becoming a creative agency. Honestly, I don't think we'd be here today at this stage without the Podcast Academy.
What I look forward to in the future of the TPA, mentorship, helping people, helping each other, bringing us more together as a community to help bring more of us together for the future.
Recently, I had the most incredible opportunity to work with Martha Little, who is the Senior Director of Creative Development at Audible. And what was supposed to be this 20-minute conversation turned into an over hour-long conversation where I got really encouraging and helpful feedback. And that would not have happened without TPA.
My hope for the future of the Podcast Academy is to inspire high-quality, purpose-driven podcasts that create true change in the world, transform the industry to be more collaborative, and elevate those voices that are on a mission to be heard.
Eu espero que a academia continue a dar educação, treinamento e outras iniciativas para elevar o podcast.
One of the main reasons why I'm a part of the Podcast Academy is that it exposes me to some of the top-level practitioners across disciplines. Because when it comes down to brass tacks, doesn't matter what you cover, it comes down to the storytelling, especially in audio. So TPA helps me keep sharp and also meet the other creators who help keep the juices flowing.
Wasn't that amazing? Did you know you were going to be in that video?
No. Okay, I did. I knew it. But that's why I said amazing members.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, well, speaking of amazing, whoever is doing the VO for the nominees tonight is really killing it. No. You?
Yes.
Okay, so you're basically just carrying the whole show. Why are the rest of us even here, Chris?
Look. I'm just the voice. But, I mean, the star power is you. Is it right? Am I right, folks? Give her a hand. Plus, someone has to announce the next nominees.
Okay, all right. The next category honors those performers who bring an imagined story to life with their voices, creating an immersive audio experience to transport the listener into the story. Here are the nominees for Best Performance in Audio Fiction.
For Best Performance in Audio Fiction, here are the nominees: Amin Joseph, Cole Sprouse and Sarah Yarkin, Bethany Joy Lenz, Clive Standen, and Michael O'Neill, Dominic Mahagan, Billy Boyd, Phil Lamar, and Lindsay Whistler, Rory Culkin, Odd Andrews, Cicely Strong, and Eric Austin.
And the winner is Cole Sprouse and Sarah Yarkin for Borrasca Season 2. 30 seconds. Larry told us 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm Kristen Burke, the director of Season 2 of Borrasca, and this is Rebecca Klingel, the creator of Borrasca. Thank you so much, Academy. This is really amazing to be in such august company. I just want you to know, everybody in this room knows, but probably people watching at home don't know, every performance in Borrasca was recorded in a booth because of COVID, so it's a real testament to their talent, pardon me, and skill that these performances were amazing. So on behalf of all of the producers of Borrasca, Rebecca, myself, and especially everybody at Q Code, Cole, Sarah, thank you so much for this award. You have no idea what it means to them and to us. Thank you so much.
So as a dating expert, have you heard the philosophy that people are only able to meet others as deeply as they're able to meet themselves?
That's kind of deep for an award show, but interviewing is a skill that requires going there. So let's hear the nominees for Best Interview Podcast.
And the winner is The Assignment with Audie Cornish. And they couldn't make it tonight, so there will be a video for them.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Audie's so sorry she couldn't be with you tonight. I'm Matt Martinez, the showrunner for The Assignment, and as everyone in this category can attest, an interview show can seem deceptively simple, just one person talking to another person, right? But there are so many producers and editors behind the scenes who are a big part of making the magic happen. So on behalf of all of our talented producers, the entire team at CNN Audio, and our wonderful host, Audie Cornish, thank you all so very much.
Before Larry makes his way back out here, I just want to acknowledge that this evening reminds me that there is nothing more powerful than community. The amazing connections we all make through the Podcast Academy give us that sense of belonging and being better together.
We just have to say that this has been an amazing night so far, and we have a little bit more to go. But first, let's just give yourselves a round of applause for even being here. And we're going to take one more look at why the TPA has been impacting lives in audio.
The TPA has been such a strong community builder for me. As a podcaster, it can be quite isolating sometimes. It's been enabling me to connect with other podcasters and learn so much from their experience.
The Podcast Academy introduced me to a great mentor and mentees who've helped me level up my radio drama.
With the Podcast Academy, I've been able to connect with a lot of podcasters that are beginning their podcasting journey. And so it's been really rewarding to help them in starting their podcast, whether that's building their audience or figuring out new marketing materials or just how to conduct a successful interview. And on the flip side, to be able to hear from experts in the field that have so much more skills than me and be able to learn from them.
The Academy has ensured that the podcast community has continued to thrive in a democratized, positive environment. My hope for the Podcast Academy is they continue to celebrate the world-class work being done in the space, regardless of the budget size or the prestige of the publisher.
I really value the TPA for many reasons, including the fact that it legitimizes the industry. It helps us to feel connected in an industry that could be quite insular. It also allows us to define the best practices for the next chapter of podcasting, and it gives us a chance to celebrate.
We're working in a podcast industry right now that's still very much in the early stages of its development. Accordingly, this industry is going to have to answer some very big questions about its future, questions about standards, questions about ethics, business models. Answering these questions is vital to the work of continuing to professionalize the field of podcasting. I would urge anybody who's on the fence to get involved with TPA, because the more people get involved, the more value the organization can offer our industry.
Damn it. So close. That time it wasn't my fault. I was at the roulette table. I was. Took a little break. Brother did pretty good. Yeah? Right? Always bet on black. That's all I'm telling you. I'm going to grab Pinkalicious and Peterific. We're going to head to the strip club and make it rain. So, you guys going to be with? You coming with? I just can't get over that name. Sorry. All right. So, speaking of sponsor money, the bit was supposed to be about sponsor money. I changed it. I changed it on the fly because that's how I do, you know. But no, I did want to take a moment and express our gratitude to both Spotify and Double Elvis, who supported independent submissions to the Ambies. Now, their generosity allowed people to submit their podcasts for free. So let's give them a round of applause. That's awesome, right? Love that. So cool. And now, please welcome to the stage the 2021 winners for Best Entertainment Podcast and the host of Wondery's Even the Rich and Rich Daily, Brooke Sifrin and Arisha Skidmore Williams. Oh my God.
Hello. Honestly, isn't it so good to see a bunch of people who work from their closets, get dressed, and force awkward face-to-face conversation?
Yeah, how about that weather and gas prices?
And don't even get me started on eggs, fellow podcaster.
Where's a chat GPT when you need it?
Honestly.
We are so thrilled to present the nominees for Best History Podcast. Now, you know what history I don't want repeated? The search history on my computer.
Yeah, I've seen it. Who knew someone could Google, "Do I have a blood clot?" so many times. Tonight, we honor these podcasts, and we thank them for breaking down complex stories of our past into layman's terms for all of us dummies to understand. The nominees for Best History Podcast are...
And the winner is Slow Burn, Roe v. Wade.
Thank you very much. First of all, this really has to go to our host, Susan Matthews. I'm Derek John, by the way, the executive producer. Susan figured out about a year ago that the Dobbs decision before the Supreme Court was going to be this past June, and we started to look into the history of Roe v. Wade, kind of how we got there, and it turns out what we ended up making was perhaps a prediction about what life was going to be like when abortion rights went away. So this has been such an honor to make this story. Thank you so much to the Academy. I just got to quickly thank the rest of our production team, Sophie Summergrad, Samira Tazari, Sol Worthen, Merritt Jacob, our wonderful technical director, our editor, Josh Levine. We're a scrappy bunch, but it was a lot of fun to make this. And stay tuned for our next slow burn, Becoming Justice Thomas. Thanks all.
You know what I always say? Why pay someone to do a job when you can spend 3 times as much to buy the materials yourself and do it wrong?
Because then you couldn't force your friends and family to listen to a podcast about it. This is a brand new category this year. Here are the nominees for Best DIY Podcast.
And the winner is Queer News.
Y'all, this is incredible. I definitely make a podcast for less than $3,000 an episode. And the fact that that's the threshold. God bless the Academy for making a DIY episode a category for us. There's a lot of indie us out here making amazing content that people cannot find. I'm really grateful to tell the stories of queer folks and Black and brown queer folks, because as our representation continues to increase, so does the anti-LGBT and trans legislation and hate. And I'm here to tell our stories because they deserve to be heard and amplified, and this says yes to that. So thank you so much.
Congratulations. So if spy balloons and the threat of alien invasion are overwhelming for you, then you're nothing like me because I'm fine, see?
Sure, Jan. It's not like this is the first time you've left your house in 6 months.
Ouch.
But if you're in need of escapism, then fiction podcasts are for you. Here are the nominees for Best Fiction Podcast.
For Best Fiction Podcast, here are the nominees. Birds of Empire, Bone Mary Berry, Jane Anonymous, Last Known Position, Moriarty, Newts, The Big Lie.
And the winner is Last Known Position.
Hey, what's up, Ambies? How we doing up in here? Come on. So real quick, we don't have a lot of time. We want to give a big shout out. Q Code, you guys took care of us from the very beginning. This is Luke Passmore, who's the writer, creator of this. John Wynn, I'm director. I EP'd it. We had a blast. We had a great cast. Gino Rodriguez, wherever you are. You had a baby a couple weeks ago. Thank you, baby. You're awesome. All of our team, they crushed it. They did so much work. It's a team win for us. Everyone just crushed. And to my wife, who had to listen to every episode 6,000 times, thank you, baby. We did it. All right. Appreciate you guys.
Please welcome to the stage Jen Sargent, the CEO of the Academy's 2023 community building sponsor, Wondery.
Thank you all. I'm honored to be here today. The TPA Mentorship Program launched in 2021 to further the Podcast Academy's mission of both professionalizing the podcast industry, and making sure to both include and celebrate underrepresented voices in the field. Through this program, they've seen podcasters grow their networks, gain listener and customer leads, and receive hours of support from incredible volunteer mentors who collectively hold over 75 years of expertise in journalism, media, marketing, and PR. To date, they've launched 5 cohorts who have completed their 4-month mentorship programs with over 300 participants. For their current season, 50% of their mentors and 75% of their mentees are self-identified as a member of an underrepresented community in podcasting in our current season, which launched in February. Wondery is proud to support this program. We believe that mentorship and education are vital to furthering the podcast industry and cultivating new talent. Wondery and Amazon Music have been supporters of the Podcast Academy since its inception. Let's meet a couple of our members and hear from them about the value of the mentorship program.
Hi, my name is David, and I've been a mentee in the TPA mentorship program.
Hi, I'm Robin. I was a mentor, and one of the folks I was paired with was David from Papa PhD.
The mentorship program really opened this door to me to having like one-on-one time with people who really specialists.
These mentor programs are a great way to connect and bond with people outside of your own universe.
The mentorship program really has brought me out of my bubble, and it's really impacted how I see my podcast in the future, how I'm planning to improve on it and to grow it.
I feel a little bit like a podcast parent watching all of the mentees that I've worked with go off into the big world and grow and create, and I get to consume that content, and it just brings me a lot of joy.
It was such an awesome surprise to experience how generous the mentors were with their time.
Being a member of TPA is extremely valuable, but being a part of this mentor program just deepens that value and the relationships that I get to build within the community.
Please welcome to the stage 2021 Ambies Podcast of the Year winner and founder of Dying for Media, Nikki Boyer.
Are you guys okay? Is everybody okay? I know, let's get it going, right? We're at that point where we're like, let's stretch a little bit. We got it. I just have to say, I'm really actually happy to be taking the stage for the 3rd annual Ambie Awards, because back when I won the first ever Podcast of the Year award for Dying for Sex, there wasn't even a stage. I was actually in COVID lockdown on a live stream in my mom's basement, so we've come a long way, people, right? So the world has come a long way. The podcast industry has come a long way too, and it's really exciting. For example, I hosted last year, and I have to say we've come a long way because this year they got a real celebrity, Larry Wilmore, everybody. We're taking big steps here, everybody. But tonight I'm here to present 4 awards. The first is near and dear to my heart because I started my career as an entertainment reporter. So these next shows do a deep dive into movies, TV series, and celebrities that we just can't get enough of. So here are the nominees for Best Entertainment Podcast.
For the Best Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by The Hollywood Reporter, here are the nominees. Even the Rich, Movie Podcast, Object of Sound, Pop Paranormal, Q Points, Reality with the King, Scamfluencers.
All right, and the winner is Scamfluencers. Yay!
Holy shit. I
want to thank everyone at Wondery. There's so many names. Janine, Marshall, Jenny, Stephanie, our executive producers that really guided this, to to Rachel, Jennifer, and Sarah, who turned me into a podcaster. Sachi, my co-host, couldn't be here, but she told me to tell you all that working with me has been the privilege of her life, and that she's never had a better experience ever. Thank you so much.
Sound design and production are the glue that hold a podcast episode together. They paint the visual picture of the world and they create an immersive layer that draws the listener in. So the nominees for Best Production and Sound Design are hard to walk and open an envelope. De facto sound for 20,000 hertz, the winner! Come on down! Come on down!
Hello, everyone. Thank you. I'm Casey, the supervising producer of 20,000 Hertz. It's an honor to get this award. We really do put our heart and soul into making the show sound as great as possible. And so for that, I want to thank our awesome sound designers, Jai Berger, Colin DeVarney, Justin Hollis, Brandon Pratt, Joel Boyder, Soren Bajan, our producers, Grace East and Andrew Anderson, and of course, our host, Dallas Taylor, all our awesome freelance producers as well, everyone involved. It's an awesome team, and I'm lucky to be a part of it, so thank you.
Congrats to everybody so far. Independent work is a true labor of love. These teams often have smaller budgets and way less sleep. But you can also get away with saying, you're not the boss of me. Here are the nominees for Best Indie Podcast.
For Best Indie Podcast, brought to you by Stitcher. Here are the nominees. Blind Landing.
On the ice, I was constantly told I was doing the gay sport. Too gay.
Ghost Honey's Dream Machine.
Welcome to Ghost Honey's
Dream Machine. Imaginary Worlds.
You're listening to Imaginary Worlds, a show about how we create them and why we suspend our disbelief.
In Those Genes Podcast.
Every episode this season, we're asking, is it genetic?
Inner West Icons.
Hang on a minute. Why does the harbor hog all the icons?
Soul Affirmations with Kariga and Felicia.
Don't be afraid to be a source of light.
The Nocturnists.
When I was a medical student on my surgery rotation,
and the winner is Blind Landing.
Thank you for this. I want to use my very brief time up here not to talk about me or Blind Landing, but to talk about you. So a lot of us in the room tonight, we have institutional knowledge and connections and resources, and I just want to encourage you all to share it. If you're a company, consider starting something like Neon Hum's Editor Bootcamp, or if you're an individual, consider joining something like AIR's mentorship program or Rough Cut Collective, because tonight it's not about the competition, it's about all of us here together as a community. So who helped get you here? Who was the person that said yes to you when they could have said no? And how can we all find opportunities to be that person for someone else? Thank you.
All right, congratulations. So when we're not watching sports, we talk about watching sports, and then we talk about the people talking about watching sports. So in honor of watching and talking, here are the nominees for Best Sports Podcast. All right, and the winner is The Lead. Yay!
Okay, I just want to say thank you to so many people. This is my co-host, Tiffany Oshinsky. Thank you for always doing interviews with humor and compassion. This is Matt Straub, who produced the episode that we submitted this year. He pieced together 5 incredibly moving stories about Vin Scully to make a truly beautiful episode. We have production assistants who take the time to cut out so many stumbles and breaths and to make everything sound just perfect. We have a fact checker, Charlotte Edmonds, who goes so deep down these rabbit holes to make sure that everything is truthful and accurate. All these folks working incredibly hard behind the scenes. And then our engineers, Aaron May and Joe Richardson, who take the extra effort to make every episode of our show sound so beautiful. Thank you to them, and thank you to Wondery for giving us the opportunity to tell sports stories that matter. Thank you so much.
It's now my honor to turn the mic over to 2 members of the Podcast Academy's Board of Governors. TPA chairperson and co-founder of Tenderfoot TV, Donald Albright, and the host of Tuckered Out with Ami Tucker, Ami Tucker.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here again. Before we move on with our next award, I want to take a moment to call attention to this evening's sponsors. With the support of our members, as well as these organizations, the Podcast Academy is able to continue our work to elevate the audio industry. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Donald, and also a round of applause for our chairperson of the board of TPA. He's been fantastic. Let's get back to the business of handing out awards. So while some of this content feels like it could fit into true crime podcasts, which I think you know about, the nominees in this next category give listeners insight into the scary world of business. Here are the nominees for Best Business Podcast. And the winner is, Don, I'll let you do the honors.
Business Wars.
Wow, this is a huge honor and a testament to a show that has been running now coming up on 5 years. This podcast tells the story of corporate backstabbing, but it has an incredibly supportive team behind the scenes. I want to thank our amazing host, David Brown, who couldn't be here tonight, our senior producer, Karen Lowe, my colleague at Wondery, Dave Schilling, and Marshall Louie, our editor and producer, Emily Frost, our sound designer, Kyle Randall, who's here tonight, and interview producer, Kelly Kyle, as well as Peter Aracuni. Thank you to our writers, like everyone that has made this show just an incredible labor of love over the past 5 years. Thank you so much.
How about a nice round of applause for everyone that's won so far, you guys? Congratulations. Such an exciting night. Ooh, lovely. That's not the yours, yeah. Okay, our next award goes to Best Podcast Host. Now, some people might wonder, Larry, what's a podcast host? Well, it's a very good question. Like in the very popular podcast Black on the Air of Larry Wilmore, for example, Larry Wilmore would be the host. He would be the one nominated for an award like this. He wasn't, and I'm not upset, but I mean, it's all good, you know. I wasn't even gonna mention it, but you're the one who hypothetically asked, right? Look, I'm happy for whoever wins, okay? If I seem angry with you later, or let's say a fight breaks out backstage, it will be for an unrelated reason. I just wanna get that straight right now. Anyhow, no, I'm not salty. I'm very excited about this. And the nominees for Best Podcast Host are...
For Best Podcast Host, here are the nominees. Anderson Cooper.
Welcome to All There Is with me, Anderson Cooper.
Gilbert King and Kelsey Decker.
This guy is innocent. God help us if we can't get this right.
Chad Sanders.
Broke Issa is probably gone forever at this point.
I hope so.
Casey Wilson.
How far would you go for a diet?
JB Smoove.
They are the greatest pioneers in the history of Black comedy.
Leah Wright Rigger.
Let the world see what I've seen.
Heather McGee.
We're greater than and greater for the sum of us.
Larry Wilmore. Oh, wow. I was nominated. I didn't know. I think I was nominated. So lame. It's so lame. I know. And the winner is Lee Wright Rigger for Reclaim, the story of Mamie Till Mobley. Yes. Yes.
Hey everybody, I'm not Leah. My name is Susie, but let me tell you, I strive to be like her every single day. She is not only one of the most brilliant people I know, but also one of the kindest. And I know if she were up here, she would want to thank the production team and the writers behind Reclaim, Lakia Brown, Carrie Ann Thomas, Madeline Wood, at home, Irek Kenobi, Mara Milwaukee. Thank you so much to Evan Viola for his beautiful music. Thank you to Josh Cohan, Laura Mayer, and Liz Alessi for supporting us and fighting for us every day. And you know, I gotta say, Leah is truly phenomenal, and we learned so much with her through this process. Working on this series, we not only learned about Mamie Till Mobley, but we learned a lot from her, and I hope that our listeners feel the same. Thank you so much, Leah, for making our job so damn easy. Thank you.
All right, guys, congratulations. We have made it to the halfway point of the evening. How about that? Yeah. People at Twitch are like, what? Gotta play some D&D, man, hurry up. We have, thank you very much, D&D, right? Okay. We've made it to the final award of the night, you guys. It's time to announce Podcast of the Year, sponsored by Tenderfoot TV. That's right, Tenderfoot TV. If it's Tenderfoot, it's TV. Right? I just made that shit up. I have no idea. It sounds good. It sounds good, right? Where are my tenderfoot peeps at? Over here? Oh, good. There you go. There you go. Okay. This award is given to a show that represents the pinnacle of our industry, the type of series that we fall in love with, executed at a level that we all aspire to someday create ourselves. So here are the nominees for Podcast of the Year.
And now, for Podcast of the Year. Brought to you by Tenderfoot TV. Here are the nominees. Chameleon, Wild Boys.
There were these two boys walking through the orange haze along the shoreline who I'd never seen before.
Design Matters with Debbie Millman.
And remember, we can talk about making a difference, we can make a difference, or we can do both.
Direct Deposit.
Also, how much money is enough money for you to tell the truth?
Fiasco, the AIDS Crisis.
This season of Fiasco is about the early years of the AIDS epidemic.
Gay Pride and Prejudice.
I can't wait for the divorce to start. Gay divorce. Can you imagine anything more dramatic?
Moriarty.
Sherlock Holmes overlooked one key variable. Me.
Pink Card.
The exhaustion, the exile, the government threats, all of this for wanting to watch soccer.
Reclaimed, the story of Mamie Till Mobley.
It started with the voice of Mamie Till Mobley.
The Outlaw Ocean Podcast.
If you really want to understand crime, start where the law of the land ends.
The Prince.
This is The Prince, a podcast about Xi Jinping, China's leader.
Very exciting. Podcast of the Year goes to Chameleon, Wild Boys. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much to Sony Music Entertainment. Thank you to Campside Media, the founders, Josh, Matt, Adam, Vanessa. We had such an incredible team. My producer, Abakar Adan, my senior producer, Ashley Ann Krigbaum, our sound geniuses were Hannes Brown and Garrett Tiedman. My editor was Karen Duffin, and in addition to teaching me how to make a podcast like this, she had to show me how microphones work and how Descript and Slack, and it was like she was teaching a golden retriever how to make a podcast. And so thank you, Karen. Thank you to my wife, Rachel. I love you. You guys, I had nothing happening in my career. I had two young kids. I was working in a taco restaurant. I'd never made a podcast before. And Campside deserves so much credit because I cold emailed these guys. And they just believed in the story, and they believed in me, and they changed my life. And I'll never forget it. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And I'm going to go and cry over there now. Thank you so much. All right, we're going this way.
Love it. That is awesome. It is never too late to stop making tacos. Yeah. Wait, what? I'm not sure if I... Hey, congratulations to all our winners tonight at the 3rd annual Ambies, right? Yeah. We did it, you guys. Thank you to, you guys have been great. Thanks to our live audience here at the International Theater Westgate. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys have been awesome. Bam, 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 bam. All of you at home on Twitch, haven't forgotten about you. Send your parents back upstairs now. Go ahead, light up that dude, fire up a little Pinkalicious and Peterific, and you will thank me later. I'm Larry Wilmore. It's been my honor to host this tonight. Thank you to everyone here. Congratulations to all the winners and everyone nominated. Please be proud that even if you're nominated, it's just been a great evening. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
My brother has a podcast. It tries to make a statement, but his friends are kind of smartless. It's the one with Jason Bateman.
You know my grandma's loving podcasts. Do you want to know her fave? It's kind of been a toss-up between queer news or two bears, one cave.
Everyone's got one, everybody and their brother. Issue them out, birth another than another.
Send them straight into my ears.
Mark Maron's show alone could play for 30 years.
We're representing Vegas. Third year, not too shabby.
And if you want to kick it up a notch, press play on Call Her Daddy.
Everyone's got one, every mother, son, and daughter. Download them to my brain, I really think they oughta.
Not to be too indiscreet.
I'm office ladies in the streets, freakonomics in the sheets.
Mel Roberts, A. Cooper, business was a super duper. Only funny cause it's true. Heard the one with JB Smooth. Leslie Jones being funny. Check the cassette. Moriarty, Conan looking for some great dance.
Disasters disrupt the biological patterns, provoking chaotic chaos on the chessboard.